So we're 6 days into the new year, 2024, and I just wanted to briefly touch on, the state of trans rights in the United States, which isn't good, to say the least. If you look at this article, oh, I'm not very good at technology. But, there you go. If you look at this article from U.S. News and World Report, states that have restricted gender-affirming care for trans youth. It is a long list. Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and West Virginia. This is unconscionable. For the Republicans to be attacking children, excuse me, for the Republicans to be attacking children who haven't done anything wrong. All they're doing is trying to live their lives. They happen to experience disconnect between, who they feel they are and their sex assigned at birth. And they are trying to get medical care that the medical community agrees is warranted and justified and safe. You're disrupting so many people's lives. You could be, well, this article I think mentions it. I'm not sure where it was, but point being that, like, when you prevent trans people from getting the proper health care, that increases their risk of suicidality. It increases their rate of depression. It just makes their life so much worse. And it's already difficult enough. I mean, being in a body that, like, is so against how you feel on the inside, it's already kind of like a horror movie-esque scenario. And there's already a lot of discrimination. I mean, a lot of trans people, a lot of non-binary people, they don't have the support of their families. Their families shun them. Their families, hurt them mentally or physically. There's trans people, non-binary people can be afraid to go out in public lest, some stranger is going to bother them. There's plenty of discrimination against the community as well. And this is just, you're kicking a people while it's down. You're kicking a people while it's down. And they're not just going to go after trans youth. At some point they will, and some states have already tried to go after the healthcare of trans adults. The Republicans want, the community to be gotten rid of, basically. Which, of course, you can't just get rid of trans people. I mean, trans people have been here forever, since all across human history. They've existed, and just because you're preventing them from getting healthcare doesn't mean you're preventing them from existing. But, like, that is a death sentence. It's already hard enough being trans, but if you don't have the ways of remedying the situation, I think many people would find life, and I don't say this like figuratively, but like unbearable. And also, I want to say, so regarding the medical establishment, this is from Scientific America. What the science on gender affirming care for transgender kids really shows. Because I keep forgetting to share my screen. Because the talking point's always that, the doctors are mutilating our children. Doctors are performing, gender reassignment surgery on a 12-year-old who has just mentioned for the first time that they're feeling dysphoric, which is not the case. So, the truth is that data from more than a dozen studies of more than 30,000 transgender and gender diverse young people consistently shows that access to gender affirming care is associated with better mental health outcomes, and lack of access to such care is associated with higher rate of suicidality, depression, and self-harming behavior. We mentioned that. Major medical organizations, including the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, the Endocrine Society, the American Medical Association, the American Psychological Association, and the American Psychiatric Association, have published policy statements and guidelines on how to provide age-appropriate gender-affirming care. All these medical societies find such care to be evidence-based and medically necessary. It also says AAP and Endocrine Society guidelines call for developmentally appropriate care, and that means no puberty blockers or hormones until young people are already undergoing puberty for their sex assigned at birth. Those guidelines provide the options of gonadotropin-releasing hormone analogs, which block the release of sex hormones once young people are already into the second stage of puberty, marked by breast budding and pubic hair. These are offered only if a teen is not ready to make decisions about puberty, access to gender-affirming hormones, and potential access to gender-affirming surgeries available at age 16, and then in the case of transmasculine youth, only mastectomies, also known as top surgery. The Endocrine Society does not recommend genital surgery for minors. And, when you talk to trans people, many of them say you have to go through a lot of hoops to get care. And as far as I know, the medical establishment is actually somewhat behind the times, because many of these professionals, think that to get access to gender affirming care, you have to experience gender dysphoria. But there are trans people that don't experience gender dysphoria. So, if there's a criticism to be had of the medical establishment, it's that it's not inclusive enough. It's that it's not, it's that it's behind the times. It's that it's too conservative. It's too cautious in its care. But, if you have an issue with trans people, take it up with all of these people. All of these medical professionals and all these organizations have come to the conclusion trans people are a thing, and, it's not unnecessary care. So this is just based on empirical data conducted by people who specialize in the human body and specialize in health. I wanted to say one more quick thing. I'm almost at 10 minutes, which is where I wanted to cut myself off, but I wanted to toot my own horn a little bit here. So this is me at the protest in Kentucky for the anti-trans youth bill in Kentucky, House Bill 470. That's me right there. That's not actually my sign. Somebody gave me that sign at the protest. I didn't bring any signs, but it was a very peaceful protest. There were many, good speeches there, many excellent slogans that, got the point across. But it is important for us to keep fighting, these reactionary laws. And that was my first protest ever, by the way. Like, I had never been to a protest before in my life. I'm kind of a recluse, kind of solitary. But I'm really glad I went because, I mean, we need as many voices as we can in this situation. When it comes to human rights, you can never have enough voices. I'm confident that in the long run, we can defeat transphobia, but it's going to take a lot of work, and unfortunately, a lot of people are going to have to suffer unnecessarily until we crush the opposition. I don't know. I guess I've been feeling a little bit depressed about trans rights recently. I came out about a year ago, year and a half ago now, I think. And, I've had it pretty good. Family, friends, accepting. I was able to get hormones through an informed consent clinic. So for the most part, I've had it pretty good as a trans person. And I don't want to deny that. But a lot of people don't have the luxuries that I have. A lot of people don't have it as good as I do. And it's laws like these that just make the community's life so much worse. And I just want to, do my part to be inclusive, because trans people deserve all the rights and all the same rights as everyone else. They deserve the same respect as everyone else. They deserve the same consideration as everybody else. They're human. They're human. They have flaws. They're imperfect, just like all other humans. And there's no reason to single them out. There's no reason to consider them bad, evil, sinful, mentally ill. It is just another way of being a person. And isn't that what makes life so amazing?